It started with a photograph, posted online at exactly 3:13 a.m. No caption, no location, no comments. Just a woman standing beneath a flickering streetlight, red dress, dark hair, and a smile that looked like it knew something you didn't. Nobody thought much about it at first, until 3 men disappeared. Different cities, different ages, zero connection between them. Except one thing. Each of them had liked that photograph, and each had received a private message from the account in the hours before they vanished. Police called it coincidence. The internet called it something else. Because the account belonged to a woman named Scarlet Vale, and nobody, not one person on Earth, could find any record that she had ever existed. His name was Ethan Parker, 29 years old, freelance photographer, Chicago. Not superstitious, not gullible, not the kind of man who read internet horror stories and lost sleep over them. He was logical, grounded, skeptical of everything, which made what happened to him all the more disturbing because Scarlett chose him anyway. It was 3:13 a.m. when the notification appeared on his phone, a private message from an account he'd never interacted with. "You're good with cameras." Ethan laughed, sat up in bed, looked at the account. The profile photo showed a woman in a red dress standing beneath a streetlight, smiling. He almost put the phone down. Almost. Instead, he typed back, "Who are you?" Minutes passed. Then her reply appeared. "I'm someone who likes being remembered." They talked until sunrise. Scarlett was intelligent, precise, disarmingly warm, and she knew things about Ethan that she had no business knowing. His favorite restaurant on the north side of Chicago, the town in Ohio where he grew up, the scar on his left shoulder from a bicycle accident at age 9. Information that existed nowhere online. Information that lived only in Ethan's memory. Yet she knew all of it. Over the next 2 weeks, they spoke every night. Ethan stopped returning calls, stopped caring about the world outside those conversations. He knew it was obsession. He told himself he had it under control. He didn't. Then Scarlett sent coordinates and 4 words. "Come meet me, Michigan, a small town in the north, population under 2,000, dense forest on every side." Against everything his instincts were screaming, Ethan Parker got in his car and drove north. The town looked like it had been abandoned mid-sentence. Boarded storefronts, cracked sidewalks, no cars, no people, not even the sound of wind through the trees. Just silence, the kind that presses against your eardrums, the kind that feels intentional. Old newspapers scattered across the road. Ethan picked one up. The date read September 3rd, 1987. Another, March 11th, 1964. Time had collapsed here, or stopped entirely. Scarlett had told him to wait at the clock tower in the town square. At sunset, Ethan stood there in the fading light, alone, every hair on his arm standing straight up. Then the streetlights flickered on, and she appeared. Red dress, dark hair, that smile. She walked toward him slowly, eyes locked on his, and for one brief moment, Ethan forgot every warning sign, forgot the missing men, forgot the impossible things she knew, forgot everything except the fact that she was there and she was real, and she was looking directly at him. "You're exactly how I imagined," she said. Her voice was soft, almost hypnotic. Ethan forced a smile. You're actually real." She laughed. Strange, hollow, like an echo of joy rather than joy itself. As real as anyone. Before he could ask what that meant, she took his hand. "Come." And Ethan Parker, logical, grounded, skeptical Ethan Parker, followed a stranger into the dark. She led him through empty streets, past frozen storefronts, past an abandoned church with its doors wide open, past a diner with coffee cups still on the tables, and a chalkboard menu dated 1987. At the edge of the tree line, a Victorian mansion, dark windows, rotting wood, paint peeling in long strips, yet Scarlett walked toward it like she owned every room inside. She pushed open the front door. Candles burned on the staircase, freshly lit. Dust covered every surface, and lining every wall, running the full length of every hallway, portraits. Hundreds of them, men, all men. Different decades, different clothing, different ages and eras, but all staring directly forward, all wearing the same expression. Not fear, not anger, something worse. Peace. The hollow peace of someone who had given up fighting. Ethan's voice came out quieter than he intended. "Who are they?" Scarlett's smile faded. For the first time, she looked almost human, almost sad. They stayed. Ethan stepped toward one portrait and stopped breathing. He recognized the face. He had seen it on the news. One of the missing men reported vanished 6 months ago. Same face, same eyes, same build. He stepped back, looked at the next portrait and the next. Every missing man, all of them here, all of them watching. He spun toward the door. Scarlett was already standing in front of it, still smiling. "You shouldn't leave yet." Her voice changed. It no longer came from one place. It layered. Male voices, female voices, dozens of them folded beneath her own, all speaking the same words simultaneously. Ethan ran. The mansion fought him. Hallways turned back on themselves. Doors opened into impossible spaces. Staircases spiraled upward without ending. The house was alive, rearranging, hunting. Scarlett's laughter moved through the walls like something living. Then Ethan found the attic door, the only one that swung open without resistance. He should have recognized that as a trap. He went up anyway. The attic stretched far longer than the building below it, and it was covered. Every wall, every inch of floor space, every sloped ceiling, in photographs, all of Scarlett, standing beside different men in different eras, daguerreotypes from the 1800s, black and white prints from the 1940s, Polaroids from the 1970s, digital prints from last month. In every single image, she looked identical. Not one day older, not one line different. The same face, the same dress, the same smile. Across 150 years. Ethan understood then what she really was. Not a woman, not a person. Something ancient that fed on obsession, on fascination, on the particular hunger that takes hold when someone cannot stop thinking about another person. She didn't kill. She collected. Then one photograph stopped him where he stood. It was dated today. It showed Ethan Parker standing beside Scarlett, smiling, in this exact room, in this exact spot. He had no memory of it being taken. At the bottom, written in red ink, "Welcome to the collection." The attic door slammed shut. The lights went out. And Scarlett was there, not entering, not walking, simply present. Suddenly, completely. Her form unraveled in the darkness. The woman dissolved. What remained was shadow and faces, dozens of faces, pressing outward from beneath her skin. The missing men. Still there, still aware, still imprisoned inside whatever she had become. All of them staring at Ethan. Scarlet extended her hand. Stay. Every voice inside her spoke the word together. Ethan looked at her hand, then at the camera still hanging around his neck. The one he'd brought out of habit, the one he always carried. He raised it, set the flash to maximum, and fired. The burst of light detonated like a flare. Scarlet screamed. Not one voice, all of them. A sound that wasn't sound so much as pressure and pain. The photographs on the walls ignited simultaneously. Fire raced across every surface. Ethan ran down the stairs, through burning corridors, past portraits melting off the walls, through the front door, into cold night air. The mansion fell in on itself behind him in a roar of fire and impossible sound. And Scarlet was gone. Authorities investigated the next morning. They found nothing. No structure, no ash, no foundation stones. Only an empty clearing in the forest, as though nothing had ever stood there at all. Ethan went back to Chicago, deleted every message, deleted the account, swore he would never speak about what he had seen. Months passed. Life came back slowly. He stopped flinching at his phone, started sleeping again, took on new work, saw his friends, almost normal, almost whole. Then one night his phone buzzed on the nightstand. 3:13 a.m. A new photograph had been uploaded. Ethan's hands shook as he opened it. There she was, street light, red dress, that smile. But this time, a crowd stood behind her, dozens of shadowy figures in the dark. He leaned closer to the screen and found his own face in the crowd, standing beside her, smiling. The caption read, "Some memories never leave." The account is still active. Every photograph posts at exactly 3:13 a.m. Every photograph collects thousands of views. Every year, new disappearances go unexplained in small towns nobody remembers the names of. Maybe it's a legend. Maybe it's an elaborate hoax. Or maybe right now, in some city you've never heard of, someone just received a private message. Someone curious. Someone who can't quite help themselves. And maybe that message says exactly 7 words. "You're good with cameras. Come meet me." Or maybe it doesn't say that at all. Maybe it says something only that person would recognize, something only they would know, something that makes them sit up in the dark and think, how could she possibly know that? Check your messages.